Hello and good morning. Y'all, it took us a while to get on camera because JB has been assembling his fucking robe. Oh,
Okay.
is it too early to be cussing? Is there ever,
Is it
it might
ever?
be. I don't know,
Is
it
it
might
ever
be.
true? I don't
Drop one
know.
of Clue's bombs. No, I'm joking. I shouldn't have said the F of that. But stand up and let us see the robe and what's under the robe. What's under the robe? Stand up for us. Stand up
Let's come back. Let's come back. We're gonna walk up and
and walk and
do a
open.
little bit of this side.
And here we have JB in a black AF shirt featured by someone who made the shirt black AF. His Grand Marnier hoodie features several linings of cotton, two blends of polyester, a grey beard, an AirPod, and a belt to tie it all together. Very chic, very posh. It should be done by everyone. Wave, wave. Very much grandmother seeing children off at the end of Thanksgiving. Spin.
Yes.
It is I, Robin Leach, on Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. JB is standing before us with his Aaron in the background. Can you afford it? I had to get some Richard. I'm all like, he has a shirt that's black AF. It's black AF.
Oh, that is a clip by
No,
itself. That
no,
whole
but
thing is a clip.
no, you posing with it though was the. I was all like, and he said, and you are, I'm like, and he's seeing off someone like a grandmother at the end of Thanksgiving. Like, oh, I think I mentioned I was Urban Laughter already, right? I got
Mhm.
on one of the shirts because I ain't one of the Cosbys. I ain't go to hell, man. Because I went to Pitt in North Carolina Central. I should put on my Central shirt actually.
And really, because it is homecoming.
It
Like,
is homecoming, and I am not there. I'm a little bit sad because I was going to homecoming, but I didn't go this year. I'll probably be there next year because, well,
mhm.
homecoming.
Yeah, I didn't know about it, and then Dove Cat reminded me yesterday when we recorded the Almost Blurs podcast. He was like, "Shout out to the whatever these adjectives, blah blah blah, North Carolina Central."
Okay, because Eagle Pride amplified.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
JB drinking 3 day old water, y'all. That shit been on his nightstand for 3 days. He gonna try to tell me it was it.
I,
I seen him
I,
shuffle over there this morning, y'all. Before he got on, he was shuffling around in his robe sign. He's acting very Mariah Carey esque.
I know when you put on the robe, it brings out a whole different personality. It's just like,
hmm Y'all, he was
oh, the
saying, "Oh,
peasants, all of these
this Pepsi is
peasants.
phenomenal." If anybody's wondering.
Hmm. The Pepsi. I haven't had a Pepsi in a long time.
Pepsi, you should sponsor us. Oh wait, let me blur it out. Look how.
Yeah, because I'm a Dr Pepper person. Dr Pepper warms my spirit.
I mean, I like Dr Pepper when there's no Pepsi. I mean, but I do like Dr Pepper. Like if I go to a store and there's no Pepsi, or if it's Batu and Dr Pepper because it's kind of its own thing. I think
Hmm.
I don't know, but if it's something like that. I'll get a Pepsi and a Dr Pepper. I will. I'll get Dr Pepper before I get a Coke
Yes, because Coke is just it's not
and insult
good.
to
I
your
don't
palate.
know. Yeah, basically,
Mm-mm. The only Coke that people
basically.
seem to really enjoy is powder form. Liquid from Coca Cola, keep
And I
it.
feel like that was the last time people enjoyed Coca Cola when there was a little bit of that powder form in it.
You right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So how are you? I had to beat you to it today because you won't stop playing with me like I'll be asking you how you doing.
I am well. Anything going on in my
Mm.
life? Not really. Just in my
My life,
robe,
my
as you
life, my
can
life, my
see,
life.
you see the fluff, and you see the, you see that
I
it's a
said that I
kind
had two different blends of polyester when I was
of.
trying to talk like Robin Leach. I said-
But no, I'm good. I'm good. I've been relaxing all weekend. Packing since we're moving, and
yes.
and I went to the movies. I saw Eternals. I loved it. I really enjoyed Eternals. And
Is that a
the
scary
nerd,
movie?
Marvel.
Uh,
And
Child.
then I watched all of the Star Wars movies.
Did
I
you?
had
How'd you
never
like
seen them
them?
before.
I had never
Um,
seen all of
uh,
them before. I've seen one or two.
I mean, I could have like not ever seen them.
Wow. And they have a cult following. They're like
Yeah.
a cult, like a Harry Potter group cult.
Well, I've been told that in order to truly have appreciated Star Wars, I probably should have seen them when I was younger. Because when the first trilogy came out, like what they were showing, the graphics, the special effects was something that no one had ever seen before in movies.
Yeah, the
So
'70s. Yeah, my mom had talked about that.
that there's so many people that are just stuck on that. But from a story perspective, the story is whack. Um, like
From a story perspective, the story is
the
whack.
story's whack.
Okay, tell us how you really feel.
Of the 9 films, I probably like
There's
three.
9 films.
Yeah, because there's
I
three
didn't know that.
trilogies. There's the original trilogy, there's the prequel trilogy, so we see how Darth Vader became who he is,
Oh,
and
I
then we
didn't know
see
that.
all the trilogy that just ended in 2019, I
The one
believe.
with the one that we got Atlanta cut off for, right? The one Atlanta got cut off for.
No, I don't know. Well,
I
I don't
mean,
know
yeah,
what that means.
because what's Childish Gambino was in it, right?
Oh, he was in Solo. That was just one movie. He wasn't in a trilogy. He was in like a weird
So that
spin-off
wasn't for
movie.
okay. I didn't even
Mm-mm.
know there was a difference in that sense. My bad. Oh,
From what I hear, the one that he was in was trash anyway. So yeah, but yeah, that's
I
where I'm
hate to hear
at.
it.
And I've been catching up on My Feet Are Killing Me.
Okay.
I love that show. It's disgusting, but I love that show.
Oh, with the black podiatrist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, but how are you?
Okay. First of all is well. New York is mother and cold. Okay. New York
Mm,
is cold. It's very cold. I went outside yesterday and it took me extremely long to get back in. And I turned into a New Yorker. That was it.
mm-mm.
I did some errands, got some more toiletries, made some returns, picked up my coat from Nordstrom, and that was the highlight
Did
of
you
my
return
weekend.
things you had already worn?
No, don't do that, ho. It was curtains. I had already had some replacement curtains, and I had ordered some curtains online. They came extremely late. Ended up buying them, like I said, from somewhere else. Got the curtains, and then the curtains I originally had ordered and canceled finally came, so I had to send them back.
Mm.
So that was that. I sent them back.
Well, I
That's
guess we
it.
got our pleasantries out of the way. Let's go ahead and get into the show. So, as
Yeah.
always, this is when you can see down there, there's a red subscribe button. Click on that thing, follow us, and all that stuff, so you can get notifications when we drop the videos. If you're not following us on social media, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Rude Urban Truth Podcast and Twitter at Rude Urban Truth Pod. Check out our website, therudeurban.truth.com. And um, yeah, that's all. So, do
Okay.
you have a brew quote of the week this week?
Mm, not so much a quote as more so advice. Men,
Mm-hmm.
ladies, because y'all know the dating pool got pee in it. We already knew that. But I don't know about y'all. I'm still kind of like slightly dating. I mean, I'm still seeing that guy, but we kind of like winding off. But anyway,
Mm.
as soon as a guy asks me, "Do you stay by yourself?" Why? Why? You trying to kill me? Are you homeless? Why?
Yeah.
Why
It
does it
sounds
matter
like
if
he's
I
trying
live
to
alone?
move
Do
in.
you Right. The more important question: do you stay by yourself, or do you live with your mother? Do you live with a baby mother? Do you live with a woman who thinks that y'all live together because you're always at her home and you have a spare key? Let me
Mm.
know. Let me know. Because no,
These are
that's a
questions
real.
that need
They always
answers.
doing them little flags. That's a flag to me. A man who
Hmm.
you stay by yourself. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Well, I like that one. I have one that I'm going to save until the end, as I
Oh,
normally
now you're going to
do.
save it till the end. Okay.
But it is one that I've shown you before, so it's going to make it even more hilarious as we hear it out loud.
I can't
So,
wait. Oh, also noted too. I enjoyed living by
mhm.
myself so much. I had a roommate for 1 year. 1 year. It was a long time.
It's not the ministry that most of us want to be a part of.
It's not, and I
And
recognize that. At
luckily,
first, I thought it was gonna
you're
be
one
cute.
of the few people that can live in New York on their own. Because there are a lot of people that move there and they have to have a roommate, and that's just how they stay in New York the whole time.
No, that's very true. I didn't even look. I mean, that is. You know what? I'm glad you. Thank you for reminding
Hmm.
me of the blessing. Not that I
Hmm.
should have had to be reminded because I should have been able to see that in the first place. But thank you, because that is a blessing. Being able to live on my
Hmm.
own. And I could live on my own from the jump. I was just scary as hell. I was
Hmm.
just like, oh, I don't have family here. I want to meet somebody, and I ended up doing all of that. I'm thinking having a roommate is going to be like, oh, I'll introduce and meet new people, and I'll be able to create something. And it was just like it didn't.
It didn't give what it was supposed to give.
I'm just glad I'm free.
It didn't.
I'm glad for the
No,
freedom.
I'm glad I'm free.
Freedom, freedom, I can't lose. Freedom, cut me. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, we're going to stop right there. Yep.
I was getting too deep into
So,
it. You're a hater. I'm trying to keep
moving
this
right
bang down because I don't
along.
have my lashes on. So,
Hmm.
and I refuse to let y'all see me like this.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah.
You kind of remind me. Okay, I'm gonna take you back. I'm gonna take you all the way back. You remember the Tom and Jerry cartoon? I'm sure, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Jerry's uncle?
No, I remember that
Okay,
red thing from.
Jerry had an uncle who had this really big like mustache, and he was sing. I'm gonna try
Not
to
you
sing it.
laughing.
I'm gonna try to sing it. He'd be like, he'd be like, well, and then
You wouldn't say nothing else?
no, he would start singing. I'm trying to get the words. It was like,
Wow.
uh, I'm gonna have to play it out loud
Because why I feel like as you
it's so
said the
funny.
well, it brought me something vaguely back. Something like trick clicked in my mind.
Yeah,
Like I
that
feel like I remember this
where
that part.
originally that would have for other people would have probably made them think of the South Park movie when was it Cartman started singing "Cow's Mama's a bitch" and it started off with "Well, Cow's Mama's a bitch, she's a big fat bitch, she's the biggest bitch in the whole world." But this is not
Wow.
quite that.
South Park still
Jerry's
come on?
uncle. Okay, so here it is. No, that's an ad. Give me a moment. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay, here we go. And you'll know as soon as it starts
Yeah, I
playing
feel like because when you said
because
the
it's
well, I
called
feel like I'm going to know.
Crambone. Here you go.
Let me see. Yeah, I do remember. That's why I said that. That's how I made that
Yeah,
because he was dancing.
but you're giving me those vibes because you can't see his eyes. He just like you just see a hat and then you see the mustache appear right below the hat, but you don't see the eyes.
Yeah, because
We don't see your eyes.
you're not supposed to.
Hmm.
You're not going to catch these eyes lash free. I have been consistently
Right.
wearing lashes since 2008 or 2009. It was way before they got like super popular, and I always wore them in a natural length, as y'all all know. And I'm sure you
Because
know you work with
I
me.
had the pleasure of having to sit there while you were putting them on one by one once, but
Shut your ass
no,
up. But
that's
you know the
another
vibes. I
story.
never wear big blinks. Always
Mhm.
natural.
So I'm gonna go ahead and move us into living. Wow, black. No, no, black.
Wait, how we jump all the way to living while black? I mean, we have
Yeah,
been black
black.
most of our lives.
Yeah, but I meant black magic. So I have one, and it looks like you have one too. So I'll go ahead and
Mhm.
start us off.
Of course, you gonna start us off.
Mine is Nyla Hayes. Nyla Hayes is 12 years old. Nyla Hayes just made history as Time's first artist in residence.
Okay, Big
She
Nine.
made almost $4 million on NFTs. And if you don't know what an NFT is a non fungible token. They're basically assets traded using blockchain technology that cannot be replaced and are verified and stored with a certificate of authenticity. So, Sis was drawing when she was like a kid. I mean, she's
I
still a
mean,
kid, but when she started
right.
when
I'm
she was
looking like
nine,
how I was saying. How
no,
long did
she
she
actually
start when she was 3?
she started when she was 4 actually. She started drawing when she was 4.
Same
At
difference.
9 her parents gave her a smartphone so that she can start making digital art, and she started making these pictures. I just sent it to you. She started making these pictures with people that had really long necks that she started calling the long neckies
I
because of
liked the
course
long
9 years old.
necky.
And they were inspired by her favorite dinosaur, the brontosaurus. So she has an uncle that was like basically saying you should sell your art, and she did. So this past March, she said, "My uncle told my mom about NFTs. We watched YouTube to learn how to create and sell them. Soon, people were buying NFTs of my long Nikes. I have made more than 960 ETH, which is like a digital currency, and that
Hmm.
digital currency is valued at $3.4 million right now."
I love this. Oh, she's cute. Look at her.
She is, but look at her drawings.
First
They're
of all, I know I'm
really
looking at them. I'm like,
good.
yo, I'm like, I like the
Like they're
neckies. They're
really
so
good, and
cute.
the quality of them is even better. Like this is a 9 year old. Well, she's 12 now, but her
I'm looking
skills
at
are
the green one with the
so good
afro,
and so
man.
young.
The green one with the afro is the one.
With the earrings.
Yes, and the little sunglasses.
Yes. So she now because of the time recognizing her, she's a part of the Time Pieces initiative. There, it's given her an opportunity to release her work to community of collectors and create and maintain relationships with them. So this is just only the beginning for her. And on November the 17th, she'll be dropping her new collection
Oh,
for the
okay, Miss
holders of
Mamas.
timepieces and time cats. But yeah, she started off, launching the long Nikki ladies, and now Here she is, a millionaire at the age of 12
I love to
with
hear.
this talent.
Go ahead,
Yes,
Nyla.
doing it, doing it.
Okay.
So shout out
Okay.
to Nyla Hayes. And who do you have?
Oh, I have Shantae Lundy. You may have heard of Shantae Lundy because she sells this Black Girl Sunscreen. I'm doing like a YouTube
Mm,
channel. Can you see it? Am I doing it right?
mm-hmm.
Okay. Black Girl Sunscreen. Y'all, I've been using this since like 2000, maybe 18, but the company was founded in 2016. Sis is from Newburgh, New York. And when I initially was banned Black Girl Sunscreen, I was banned directly off her website, which is blackgirlsunscreen.com. And the reason she started this company is for us. It's literally made especially for black people with a sunscreen that does not leave a white cast on our skin. I know good and
Mm-hmm.
well y'all. I didn't had on that sunscreen. They had me out here with a zombie. Now, granted, I still put it on, but it's definitely gave me zombie vibes. Like, ooh, you ashy as hell. Like, don't take any pictures of me. I'm out here ashy right now. Don't do that. To a dry. But she started the company to help fight the myth that black people don't need to wear sunscreen at all. Because we tried
Hmm.
it. We absolutely need sunscreen, and
We
we can
definitely
also be
do.
sunburned. I've definitely been
Oh,
burned.
yes, we can.
Yes,
I've been
we
burned
absolutely
too.
can sunburn. Yeah, definitely got singed and was like, oh, okay.
Hmm.
But she just was talking about, and she really focused on why it's important for us to wear sunscreen. I'm gonna keep it cute and short right there. Black girl sunscreen. It's not just for black girls. Black men get it too. Get into this black
Hmm.
glow up with it. Oh, it's SPF 30. It has avocado and jojoba and avocado. It's water resistance for 80 minutes. Scent is non-existent. Y'all know sunscreen got a little scent. Y'all, I put this on every single day. Every single day, not just in the summertime. Every single day with my makeup. Without my makeup, it's on my face now. Get it.
She's still
Get it.
ashy though, y'all.
His mom is ashy. Sorry, Big Cheryl. But yeah, his mom is ashy. But no, I really like Black Girl Sunscreen. And I kept
Hmm.
thinking when I was looking at it, I'm like, I know we both know about her. We've never made her Black Magic Woman. How could we do that? And gave her
Right.
free promo. Like, I mean, not that she probably
Hmm.
cares. She don't need our promo. But it never hurts.
Yes.
Because if you didn't know this existed, baby, I've been using it for quite some time. So since like
Hmm.
2018. So yeah, it's a vibe.
Shout
It
out to
feels good.
her.
Low smell. Yes, and it lasts a long time. Oh, and you're supposed to wear sunscreen every day, not just when you go to the beach. You should actually be wearing sunscreen every day. Learned it on her website, blackgirlsunscreen.com. There's a lot of little cute facts in there. Check it out.
Hmm. Shout out to Shantae Lundy. And
Okay.
Nyla. Look at them doing the things.
Okay.
Doing all of the things. Here
We
for
love
it.
to
Love
see
it.
it. We love to see it.
So,
Oh,
oh, go
time
ahead.
out. This week there were elections. How could we miss this? Pittsburgh, my hometown, got its first black mayor. New York got its second black mayor. The mayor of Durham is also a black man. Not only is he a black man, he a black man and he went to North Carolina Central Law School. Shout out to all three of them. Can't remember all y'all names right now. I
Hmm.
mean, I know the one. I don't know the one for Durham. Let me see.
Yeah, it's good that something positive came out of it
I
because,
should have saved that for our black thing at the end.
yeah. But shout out to everybody. All right, so
Yeah.
does that mean you are ready for Root Talk?
Root talk. Root talk.
Mm, okay. All right,
Don't
so
do that.
I'm going to go ahead and start this off with one that I am
I couldn't find his
calling
name.
a shitty situation. Yes, I call in that. I was just browsing the internet. This is from an article that was published yesterday. So you know how lately people just been going up in space. You see her? Y'all see her trying to get up slowly, like like don't nobody see. She just got up and moved over like Peter in Family Guy when he was leaving out of the theater, and she gonna slide right back, like just gonna
First
try
of
to
all,
casually slide back.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I was getting a little pump. I sneezed. Excuse me, y'all. So you heard me sneeze and didn't say bless me?
No, I didn't hear you sneeze at
I
all.
thought I had muted it.
You did. That's why I didn't
Okay.
hear you. I was talking about being able to see you slowly get up from the
Oh
seat
yeah, I tried to do
and
it real
come
slick,
back.
like, okay, I'll let him keep talking. I'll just get a pump
Because
up.
I literally stopped talking and started talking about you walking away.
Okay. Well look, I'm gonna mute myself so I can wash my hands because hand sanitizer is ghetto and I need soap and water and I'm in the house with soap and water. Hold on.
So I'm gonna go ahead and continue. So I was looking over the internet, came across this article that was posted yesterday. So you know how people have been going up into space a lot lately. Most recently, there were some astronauts that departed the International Space Station on Sunday and realized that when they got up there, that they would have to be wearing diapers while they're in space because the capsule's broken toilet. Well, the toilet is broken, so they can't use the toilet. So we
Why
have
didn't they
grown
fix that before
people.
they left Earth?
I don't know, but it says NASA astronaut Megan MacArthur described the situation as suboptimal but manageable. She and her three crewmates will spend 20 hours in the space X capsule from the time the hatches are closed until Monday morning splashdown. So during this time, if they have to use the bathroom in any way, they must use a diaper to do that. And I just, mm, I don't know. They would have to take me back home because I ain't got to that age where I'm gonna be comfortable pooping on myself or peeing on myself. So there's so many things I'm not gonna like. And then people just
Actually, then they
floating
got a
around in
wipe.
it. Yeah, so they have to use like wipes and stuff to clean it, and then they would have to put on another one just in case they gotta go. So I saw that just nasty, just nasty. But my next one, I don't even know what to call this. So even
That's
in
really
our
messed up.
document that we have, I really did not know what to say.
I see that.
So I'm just gonna read this. A resident of a high-rise condominium in Thailand cut the support ropes for two painters that were, scaling her building.
Hmm.
She did it because she was angry that she wasn't told that they were going to be painting. And because she cut them, it left them hanging above the 26th floor until a couple was able to rescue them.
She should be arrested.
Yeah, it says that the woman is now facing attempted murder and property destruction charges.
Yes. What the
Um,
hell?
yeah, the
She.
head of the police, yes, yes, she
You
cut it.
talking way too calm for this to be as wild as it is.
Yeah, that's why I
Like,
said
bro, what?
I've already made it through my state of shock. That's why I said I didn't even know what to call this. But it says that they don't know what
Cut it out.
prompted the suspect to cut the rope, but Thai media reported that she was apparently frustrated when the workers appeared outside her room and hadn't seen an announcement by the Conde that they would be working on October the 12th.
What did she
And
cut the rope with? It's
I don't
not
know.
like a little cute little. What the girl?
Yeah,
What
so
did
it
you
says
have to cut through rope?
Yeah, it says that there's a video clip on social media that shows the two painters asking the residents on the 26th floor to open the window and let them in because they were hanging.
Right.
One of the painters told the Thai media that he and his two friends had lowered themselves from the 32nd floor to repair a crack on the building. When he reached the third floor, he felt that the rope was heavier, and when he looked down, he saw someone on the 21st floor open the window and cut his rope. He tried asking for help from other units, but nobody was there. The third colleague continued to support them from the top floor. Um, and eventually, this woman's husband noticed one of the painters signaling for help and called to talk to them. Yeah, so these people could have died.
They could have died because somebody didn't tell you about the pain. Girl, it's outside. They come back all the time. Child, I can't tell how many
Mhm.
times I've been somewhere or been at work. We've even been at work. They just come down on
Mhm.
the.
Yeah,
You see
you just
them?
look
They do
over
their
like, oh, they
thing.
doing this today.
Yeah, they do their thing. They keep it moving. I wouldn't have
Mhm.
thought to cut. First of all, I'm still trying to figure out what cut. I didn't realize the rope was that thin. Somebody could easily cut it. What the hell did she cut it with? Did
Well,
she have like
it
hedge
depends on how
clippers?
long it took her too. But it says that when they confronted her, she actually denied that she did it. So the police sent the rope to for a fingerprint and DNA analysis, and that's how it was determined that she was the one who did it. And then they
Wow.
apparently had footage, so they showed her the CCTV footage and the
Hmm.
forensic evidence, and she confessed but denied any intention to kill the workers. My thing is,
What did you
this
think was
is
going to
yeah.
happen
Did
if
you,
they
you
were
think
in
that
the air and you cut the cord? Did you think they was going to
exactly,
float? Do you think they got wings?
exactly?
Is
So
she?
says that she could face up to 20 years in prison if she's found guilty on the charge
I
of
hope she.
attempted
I
murder.
hope she gets 20 years. I hope she gets 20 years because that's wild. You really put somebody
Mhm.
at risk for some bullshit. And then the thing about it is, you tried to lie. You definitely should go now because now that tells me you knew what you was doing because you knew enough to lie
Mhm.
about it and say that you didn't do it.
Right. So
You're going to
yeah, I
jail,
saw that. And
sis.
that's why I said I didn't even know what to call it
Yep.
because I was just in
I'm
shock that
trying
I
to
read
figure
that this
out what.
happened.
I know I just keep talking about. I'm trying to figure out what the hell. What did you cut it with? Was it hedge clippers? Like I'm trying to think what was thinking of come to the rope, or is that rope so thick? Like, did she saw at it? Like, what happened? But I feel like
Maybe
if
she
she
had
was
like
saw,
a really good knife or something. Like
I
a,
don't
I don't
know.
know.
Because I'm thinking, like, if, like you said, depending on how long it took her, I'd imagine if it was going to take her a second, they could have slid down and shimmy. I'd have shimmied that thing right on top of her fucking head, let her fall out the. Okay, you know what? Let me stop. Because I'm imagining me with the, you see me with the pulley, shaking it down. I'd have came down quick on her. Boom. It'd have been on. Now I'm going for attempted murder. Because now you're hanging porched out your window. Because you were trying to
Right.
cut my rope. It was you or me. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
I
always
saw that
saying that in
now.
these situations. I really don't know how to really act in those type of situations. So I'll be saying that.
Well,
Me and Gabby Sabor talking about how people act in situations, whether we're fight or flight. And Gab was saying how she is like she sits, she like freezes, right? And I told her I used to think that I froze, but I'm starting to recognize when I get scared, I like scramble off like Scooby Doo style. Like
oh
my
god,
arms be flailing. I like running places where I get back to.
I
It's really
cannot.
like zoom, like it really is like Scooby Doo style. Like I really scramble off, like my arms flail, and like it's really crazy.
Mm-mm. I can't
So
do
yeah, I'm saying I don't know what I would do in that situation. I might have just really slid down on her, like
it.
right on top of her head, like
Like,
she's
nope.
trying to cut the cord.
Let me
Right,
hurry up and get down.
right, chatter her down. Grab your set. Maybe I
well,
don't know.
I'm gonna finish Rude News with a cute story that I came across.
Okay.
So this took place in New Zealand. Um, so a 911 call was made by a 4-year old
Aw.
asking for the police to come over and check out his toys. Because he wanted to get confirmation from an officer that his toys were indeed cool.
Okay.
So, so the police share audio of the call on social media with a photo of the smiling boy sitting on the hood of the car. It said that
All the cops came.
they came. It said so.
Look
The
at them
call was
wasting our
responded.
taxpayer dollars. That's
Right,
so
this
cute, though.
right.
Wasted
This
our
is police.
money.
Where's the emergency? And then there's a pause, and then a little boy says, "Hi, police lady," and she says, "Yes. What's going on?" And he said, Can I tell you something? I got toys for you." And then the dispatcher says, "You got some toys for me?" And he says, "Yep, come over and see them." So a man then gets on the phone confirming that the call was a mistake and saying that his 4-year old had been helping out when his mother was sick. So they said, so the dispatcher still calls the police and says, "Hey, there's a 4-year old out there that is wanting police to see his toys." And one of the cops said, "I'll do it." So the police said that the officer was shown a ton of toys at the boy's house. They said that the officer was able to have a good educational chat about the proper use of the emergency number. In New Zealand, it's 111.
Aw.
And but in the end, he did tell the kid that he did have really cool toys. And
Oh, that's so cute.
so I
That
was just
really is cute.
like,
I have some
can you
toys.
imagine? Like, hey, I have some, and he just to say, "I have some
Yeah,
toys
little
for you."
kids' voices are so cute. You can listen to them like, I have toys. Like, oh, you got some toys. I probably want to
Yeah.
go see them too. Like, okay, I'm gonna come see them. Let me
Let's
see.
see what these toys look like. What if you get there and
Yeah,
they're like raggedy? It's like, oh, so you want to go get some
yeah. I'm be getting the
toys?
back stupid. We're going on a ride. It's like, like on Mean Girls, get in loser. We're going shopping. No, get in. I'd be like, oh, come on, let's go ride and get some toys. Like some.
Mm-mm-mm.
I wouldn't tell them
Yeah.
these toys were crap. I let them get some more toys though.
No, I tell his parents, y'all need to step up your toy buying game. These are trash.
I remember
And
my
then look
dog
over
ate
at
my
the
little
little
brother's
Tommy
He
and be
Man.
like, "Your toys are okay. They're great."
My little brother,
Mm,
or we had a dog. He ate my little brother's He Man, and he would be playing with him. And He Man's abs, I had dog teeth marks in them. Like He Man was tore up, like
I
he
get.
had got a skin graft.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, that is all I have for rude news. I have some doozies that I came across. I was
Oh
just doing a
goodness.
Google and I happened to come across this article that was called "The Best of Reddit."
Oh,
And it was like 10 posts that they consider some of the best ones from that year. These are the three that seem to stand out the most for me. And I'm very interested in knowing how you would handle this. These aren't necessarily am I the assholes, they're just situations that people were going through.
okay.
All right. So the first one I am calling the pregnancy scam.
Oh,
So I'm not going to read all of it. This thing is really long, but I will try to get the most important pieces out of here. So this is involving a 24-year-old man and a 23-year-old woman who have been dating. And he said, I
Okay.
think my girlfriend might be trying to secretly get pregnant.
Well, it ain't secret if you know. So,
So
but
this
carry
is
on.
what it is. So he said, first, I should note that over the course of our relationship, we both agreed that I would either use condoms or pull out.
Not the pull out method. That shit
Since-
dangerous as hell. You know how many kids came from the pull out method? Where the condoms,
right.
bro?
Yeah, so since she sometimes fails to remember to take her birth control, but she recently told me that I could start finishing inside of her because she was going to do better about remembering to take her pills. This caught me by surprise, and I told her I was okay with continuing with things the way they are, and she got mad.
Oh,
So then, I'm gonna skip because there's still a lot. But this was just the first example of him thinking that something was a little off with what she was saying and how we were getting to this weird space. So he said, at first I thought this behavior was a little strange, but no big deal, right? However, I finally started to get a little suspicious when she started actively questioning what I would do if she got pregnant. And by actively questioning, I mean she brought it up constantly. I told her that we
girl.
would discuss that if it happened and we should consider all options in such a situation. This caused a fight between us where she ended up crying and saying I didn't care about her, and I was being selfish by refusing to discuss our future. But
Oh.
again, we talked things over. I apologize, although I'm not sure what I did wrong. So then he said, things seemed to get better from here, but I noticed that she was and still is talking a lot about babies and children, especially considering that we had discussed children only a handful of times before the last 2 months. Specifically, though, she has been talking them up, if you will. That is, she's been talking about how fun it would be to have a baby and how cute they are. And she's also started saying repeatedly that I would make a great dad. My only response to
Not
this
to
has
make a
been to
great dad,
right. He said my only response to
sis.
this has been to remind her that I would love to have kids, just not right now. Okay, so this is the final straw for him. This was what made him really think that something was up. He said, however, what finally led me to believe that she was purposely trying to get pregnant was when she started offering to buy my condoms. This was really unusual as I have always bought them myself throughout our relationship. And before that, when I asked why she had this sudden interest to do this, she said it was because it was convenient and something that all her girlfriends do. Right.
Look at my face.
I tried to press the issue further, but she ended the conversation by saying she just wanted to take care of me. As of now, she hasn't bought any of for me, and I have no proof that she could be poking holes in the condoms. But I'm feeling really easy. So he made this post, and a lot of people were like, "Well, you need to really sit down and talk to her. This does seem a little off. Like, just see if, like, look,
A little.
is this what you're really trying to do? We need to have a discussion about this because I don't think we're ready." Essentially, that's what a lot of people were saying, and he was just trying to get confirmation. Like, am I just being paranoid or what? But he gave us an update and said, "I plan on talking to her tomorrow." So then he came back following up. He said, basically, the conversation did not go well. He said, I started off by telling her that I felt we had been having problems. Mind you, you look so like, what are you reading?
This.
Because your eyes are going below
My
your
this.
screen. You're not reading this because I ain't put it in there.
I'm reading something else, and
I
I tried
know
to.
you
Don't call me
are.
on the spot. Oh, this. Wait, you can see my ass.
Yes, I can see your eyes. I've been able to see your eyes the whole time.
Oh, mind your business. But I'm
See,
listening to
y'all,
what
I be
you.
telling her she don't be paying attention. I told you she can't
But I am paying
multitask.
attention because I'm listening to what she's saying. The conversation didn't go well.
Hmm.
Sis was trying to trap him. I've been
Well,
adding my
here's this
ad
though. You
libs.
you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Oh,
You
my
can
AirPod ain't
see
clicking.
it.
Hold up. No, I'm not reading this. I'm reading something private. It's
I
nudes.
know. I know because you don't have this.
Yeah, it's nudes.
Hmm.
So I was
So
like, oh, I'm reading this. No, no, it's nudes.
so
I didn't want to. I'm
he
not going to say who they're from, but they're nice. Thank you.
oh I'll wait a
My
private
AirPod's
message
not
to talk to you.
connecting.
I mean, they show you
Oh,
you
they
oh
working now.
y'all she over here trying to mess up stuff in a
I'm
live
not.
video. A
I'm
live
not
video.
messing stuff up in a live video. My AirPod fell out.
Okay.
Y'all seen it? And my
Hmm.
bad.
All right.
'Cause I
So
really
this
tried it
is
like a
what
little kid. See, look at
so
me
he
talking shit about that lady.
yeah. So he was trying to have this conversation, but it went left fast. He basically asked her why she was so concerned lately with babies. And was it because he was? I seemed like he was genuinely interested. Like, is it because we're seeing people around us having babies all the time, or like what is causing this sudden urge to talk about it? And she just got defensive. and started fussing. And ultimately, she said, "I'm pregnant anyway." Yeah.
Is she really, or was she just being a
She did,
jackass?
like so. This is what she said. She started crying and said that I was being selfish and wouldn't even consider having a baby now. She then said that she loved me and wanted my baby and felt like I was scared and had no legitimate reasons for waiting. So she admitted to taking matters into her own hands in order to give me the push I needed to marry her and start a family. This is the point in the
Stop you
conversation
right
where,
there. Cause see,
yep.
now you great push by yourself in that motherfucking delivery room. Why you do that?
Hmm.
Why? But
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
So he said that this is the a point in the conversation where she told me that I may not have a choice in waiting to have a baby, and then said she was pregnant. I think she told me she was around 6 weeks, but I was so angry, hurt, and shocked that I don't remember. I asked her if she knew for sure, and she said that she had gone to her OBGYN to confirm it and did not tell him, and then offered to show him a ultrasound.
Do you
So
get an ultrasound in 6 weeks? My friends with
I don't
kids
know.
tell me.
Yeah, I don't know, but so this is where they're
I
still
I would
waiting.
just he could have just went and got a pregnancy test. Here, pee on this
Well,
stick.
and that's the thing. That's what everybody in the post did. They told him like, "Yo, she's been deceptive already. It may
Yeah.
be worth you just
Checking,
getting
yeah, because he'll
some
tell her he's
pregnancy
pregnant.
tests."
Then he stopped wearing a condom, and then she really does get pregnant.
Yeah, so he ended up leaving and did not come back for a couple of days. He reached back out to her and was like, "Hey, I think we need to talk. I feel like maybe I was a little hasty with my response and things like that." All of this was basically a lie from his side because he just wanted to get over there with the pregnancy test and then try to make her take the
He being
pregnancy
deceptive
test in front of
too.
him.
He
He was
fighting
like,
fire with fire now.
yeah,
We're
he said,
cooking with
since we want to
gas.
play games, let's go ahead and play.
Oh,
So he
hello.
already, and he also had a family attorney. So he talked to them to figure out what type of stuff that he could, what steps he could take with her having done something like this.
Yeah, like legal action.
Hmm. So
Is
he,
he?
is he, mm,
Uh,
it doesn't say. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna say yes.
yeah, because he went straight to an attorney. I was thinking, I like his style. He said, "Listen, into the courts we go, Miss Mamas."
Right. So after talking to the attorney, he was like, "Well, first, I think you really need to make sure that she's not lying." And everybody in the previous post said, well, if she has an ultrasound, the ultrasound she shows you should also have her name and her information on them. That ultrasounds ain't just a picture of a baby.
Right. It's
It's
PHI on there too.
some type of identification on it.
Right.
So he
Or
went into this
protective personal
conversation
health
with
information.
this. So he went in there, he talked to her, and then he was like, I want to see let me see the ultrasound photo. So she brought it. It didn't have her name or any information on it. And then he said, I remember some of you told me they should have her name on it. So then she confirmed that was that, but it still just didn't make sense. So he was like, okay, let's go ahead and take some pregnancy tests.
Pulled out his EPT.
Right. So then
Pick
she
which
went
one.
back.
What do you want? They picking it out. EPT or blue response? Or what is it? Which one you want to take? Huh?
Right.
Hmm.
So he got a couple. He came in with a couple and he was like, and he said, I want to make sure you're pregnant since there were so many things that didn't make sense. So she gets mad. She's fussing and everything. But then she finally agrees to take one. But he was like, you can only take it in front of me. Like, I'm going to stand right
Go
here.
pee
I'm
on
going to
that
watch you
stick,
pee on the
sis.
stick. We're going to do this together. So long story short, she finally agreed. She came up with the first test and it was negative. So she still insisted that it was wrong. So he said, oh, well, look at
Don't
you.
worry.
I have
Don't
another.
worry. Baby, don't worry. Baby, don't worry.
Right. So they take another test, came out negative again.
Different brand.
And again, she claimed it was wrong. She finally ended up admitting that she lied. She said that it was his fault that she had to go these lengths and be this deceptive because he was so scared of settling down. Long story short.
The man was okay settling with you. And not
Mm-hmm.
even so much settling. He loved you. He
Yeah,
told you that. Yo, I
yeah.
don't want kids now.
Mm-hmm.
Now doesn't mean never. But
Yeah.
you,
But
see
she had to go
you.
this way to do it.
Mm,
And
mm.
that's crazy. Like,
Yeah,
because
it
and then
is.
they're young, 23 and 24. Girl, you have a whole lot of time
Listen,
still.
I'm Charity Tree and I'm still out here like, do I want a baby? It's really a lot of work. It's a
I was just
lot
amazed.
of work.
Like she was willing to go those lengths because then eventually, I think she was hoping that okay, if I tell him I'm pregnant, then eventually I can convince him to have sex with me without a condom. And
Right,
even
and
though the
eventually you
dates ain't
become
gonna match
pregnant.
up, I'll still end up
Be
being
really
pregnant.
pregnant. Yeah, yeah. Not realizing it's not that easy to get pregnant like how people think.
Hmm.
It's a dude,
It's
like how
not
many
as
women have told
easy.
you how hard it is to get pregnant? Like, oh, I had a
Hmm.
hard time getting pregnant. Now you got some girls. It seems like you look at them, you be like, is your stomach
Kiki
swollen? Are you
Wyatt.
pregnant? Yeah, if you look at your stomach swelling up. Are you pregnant? Did he
Kiki
just look
Wyatt
at you?
deep breath and ended up pregnant.
Yeah,
That's
because
just
Kiki
the
Wyatt has
saying.
what, like 8 kids?
Hmm. 8, 9 kids, yeah. We just gotten to a point we just assume that the sky's blue and Kiki Wyatt is pregnant. These are
Yeah,
like things that just kind of come together.
they
But
will
yeah,
keep the earth popular.
but I thought that whole story was
And
crazy to
imagine
me.
if all 8 of them kids have 1 kid, or imagine if all 8 of them had eight.
Imagine Thanksgiving.
Child.
That's just entirely too much. Like I couldn't. But yeah, that whole story was crazy to me. So I was like, I can see how that made
Yeah.
the top 10 on their list. But this next one is even crazier to me because basically there's a thing on Reddit where sometimes people make posts that are live posts, meaning they're making the post as things are happening. And this is what this woman did.
Oh, I should do that.
She was 26 and her husband's 32, and she had opened her husband's Snapchat and saw that there was an explicit picture from a girl. She said, he's sitting not 20 feet from me right now, and I don't know how to handle this. So she was actively right by him while on Reddit making the comments and stuff. I'm not going to read all of this either. I'm skipping around, but this one is this
No, I'm
this
skipping
morning.
around.
This morning, my husband was in the shower and left his phone on my nightstand.
So you should have sent me the link for this one.
Actually, yeah, I'll send it to you. It's kind of long, so get ready.
No, look, send me that one. That's the one.
Cause okay, so ultimately, um, he randomly hit. He's basically her husband is not big on social media as it is, but he randomly downloaded Snapchat, and that was
He ain't randomly
automatically
downloading
flagged
no
for her.
damn. Right.
He claimed that his friends are really active over there, and he liked it better than Facebook. But anyway, one day she said, this morning my husband was in the shower and left his phone on my nightstand. I was half asleep when his phone started chirping and woke me up. We both have the same phone and ringtone for text messages. Not knowing that he had put his phone on my nightstand for whatever reason, I thought it was my phone in my half sleep state. Despite his black phone case, mine is green. I didn't even notice, and I looked at who had texted, and it said, Mom. Okay, my mom texted me. I can ignore that until I'm actually awake. But under that was a Snapchat notification, a snap from someone named Roxy. I was like, who the fuck is Roxy? And why is she
Child, as
Snapchatting
soon
me?
as you said Roxy, I'm all like, oh, girl, this is not a good sign. Certain
Right.
names or trigger words, Roxy's.
Right. So she said, I open it and bam, it's a picture of a pussy. And not the meowing kind with 4 legs and a tail. The caption said, I want your tongue inside me again. Now I immediately thought it was a mistake, but I was
Not
alert
you throwing
now.
the neck to big rocks.
Right. But I was alert now after being awoken by a vulva. Whoever wrote, she's the greatest. I pretty quickly realized that this was my husband's phone. I felt like I was going to crap the bed and started to sweat. I looked at his contacts on Snapchat and she has a yellow heart next to her name. I looked up what the fuck that means, and it means that they are best friends, which means that these people talk a lot. I feel like I'm going to be sick. I didn't do any other snooping because honestly, I know what I'll find. I just don't understand how he could do this. We're happy, blah, blah, blah. So this is like how it started. She
She
just,
said, we're happy.
mm-hmm.
Oreo?
Yeah. So she ended up updating the post and she's like, she could tell that her husband knows something is up. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know if he saw that I opened the Snapchat from Roxy and is afraid, or if he's clueless and can just tell I'm upset about something. But he's been asking me if I'm okay and if something is wrong for about an hour. Well, I'm gonna. She basically said she was gonna spend the night at her sister's house, and that's where she was posting her update. So she said, my sister's 20 and a whiz at social media. She stalked his Facebook to see if this Roxy person would pop
My
up.
sister's 20 and a whiz at social media. Your
She
sister's
said,
a tenderoni.
right.
Translation.
So she looked through his friends. Bingo, we found her. Well, at least pretty sure. I didn't see her face on Snapchat. The screen was full of her crotch. But she's Facebook friends with my husband's good friend. Well, she came back and updated again.
Big
She ended up
Roxy.
She ended up having to create a new post because she did it on a throwaway account. But ultimately, it came out fully that he was cheating on her. He finally admitted to cheating on her, and I just thought it was crazy that she was literally like sitting there, and it was the fact that we were getting like a play by play of all of what was
Alive.
happening. Yeah, like, and apparently this happens often on Reddit. Like, people really do be sitting there like giving you a play by play of things. But this last one is a doozy. It is
That's messed
a
up. So what did he say? That she just found out he was cheating on her. Because
well,
I
they're
opened it
getting
and
a
then I got
divorce.
lost. Because oh, they
They're getting a
should.
divorce. Yeah, she's divorcing him. Um, I don't even think she thought much about it, but he did confess to it.
And he really
That
going to
he's
ask her
cheating
like,
on
is
her.
something wrong?
Okay, so this is in a way kind of like a "Am I the asshole?" but it's kind of heavy.
Uh oh.
Um, I gave it a little title. My
Yeah.
sister gave me part of her, actually, her liver. My sister gave me part of her liver.
Look at you with
I
the wrong
didn't I
organs.
didn't know that she had to abort her baby to do so.
Child, this sound like a lot.
So basically, she was very sick. She needed a liver transplant. As it was getting worse and worse, like, she didn't know this, but her sister decided to get an abortion, and then 2 months later, they were able to do the transplant surgery. So her sister got an abortion just to save her sister's life. So she said she never knew about the pregnancy. All she knew is that her sister gave her half of her liver. Her sister and her husband divorced a year later
Because she got
because
that abortion to
she got
save
that
her sister.
abortion. Right. But even again, she doesn't know that that was the reason behind it.
Right. Because at first I was saying maybe she
Um,
just got an abortion because she wanted one. And then
yes,
coincidentally, oh, I can give my sister
yeah.
some live.
So she basically like, but while the sister, obviously, no one in that case, it doesn't sound like it was an abortion that she would have normally gone for, but she basically
Right.
saw this as one of the only options she had to save her sister. So, but again, she didn't know anything about this. Well, I guess because she didn't know that this was happening, when her sister and her sister's husband got into this really big argument, she didn't know it was about that. But ultimately, he didn't want her to have an abortion and risk the transplant surgery, and was hopeful that the situation would work itself out. The chance was very small, but it was there because apparently, I think that this girl was going to slowly moving towards being on her deathbed. And
Right.
ultimately, for him, it's like, okay, I know that we could save her, but you're also saying that we have to abort the
Sacrifice our
baby to
baby.
do it. So she still went through the abortion. They ended up going through therapy and stuff, but now her sister's not happy. She hasn't been since the surgery. She never told her the reason for the divorce. She told me that there were different things that it led up to the divorce, but she wouldn't go into detail. Well, her
Right.
mother
Actually spilled the
slipped
beans.
up and spilled the beans.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Because
she's
I
like,
was
I
thinking
can't
that,
stop
like, did
feeling
she
guilty.
just get an abortion maybe because her husband, she told him she didn't want it, then regretted it later? Or was it all just purely motivated by the sister? I got so many questions.
It seems like it was purely motivated by that because I mean, it looks like her. I mean, she said that she was sick for 4 years or for a while, and so I can't imagine that she was going to get better. And I guess the sister just saw this as the only opportunity to save her sister, but ultimately the trade off was that she had to abort her child in order to do it. But she aborted the baby. She definitely loved and looked forward to, and did that knowing that it would probably end her marriage as well. Like, this woman is feeling incredibly guilty because she's like, I am the reason that my sister just got a divorce. I'm the
Right.
reason that she aborted a baby, and she wasn't even given an option to tell her like, no, I don't want you to do that. She just found out that
Yeah.
that's what
And
happened.
don't feel, and that's what I was gonna say. I hope she don't feel better because I know what she's saying. Her sister ultimately made those decisions. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
you are a factor in it, but the ultimate say so comes from your sister. Your sister decided to do that. She knew the consequences of what would happen. Her husband already
Hmm.
told her his views. She still did it anyway. You can't feel bad for that. Because,
Hmm.
like you said, you didn't even get an opportunity to say no. You can't feel bad for something that you didn't do. But I
Right.
understand why she feels bad too, because it feels like, damn, if I wasn't sick, she wouldn't
Hmm.
even had to come to anything like that.
Yeah, because
But
she
at
even
this,
for herself, she even was saying that she had personally accepted her fate that she was going to pass away,
yeah,
and she was at peace with that. So she just didn't like that. She feels guilty because her sister never came to her about it, so she can communicate that to her. And she also feels bad that the brother-in-law never came to her either and was like, "Hey, your sister's thinking about doing this,"
Right.
just so that she had an input or say so when it came to that. But I can only, it's like you're thankful that you're alive, but you're also, that
Feeling
decision
bad.
to keep you here has had this big of an effect on your family.
Right.
So I was just like, wow. I mean, that's a doozy. It's like, and then what would you ever talk to your sister to talk to about her about it? Like, do you think that you would bring it back up to her? Like, yo, because that's
Right.
one of the things she's wondering. Like, should I talk to my sister? What should I tell her? Should I just not say anything at all and pretend I don't know? Like, what do you do?
I would say something just in case, because the mom's slipping up. Mom might slip up and tell her that she told her, and then she might get mad. Like, so you knew this whole time and you ain't say nothing to me. I don't
Yeah,
know. I'd say something though.
yeah. I was like, I saw that and I was like, oh, this is deep. This is deep. Just like there was another post where a dad, well, mom was killed by a drunk driver, and the man was about to go to be. I guess he had been out or something, but while they awaited trial or whatever, and the dad's personality just started to shift. He went and got a shotgun and basically had been making comments around the house that he was going to take matters into his own hands. His son, who was 18, was hearing it and got scared, and he made a Reddit post like, "Hey, I think my dad is going to try to do something bad and I don't know what to do to help." So they basically like, "Hey, like you might want to talk to him. Like he sounds like he's grieving really badly, not knowing how to deal with his emotions, and he's about to resort to something really terrible." He said basically he ended up confronting his dad, and his dad just kind of broke down, like just because he felt helpless, like he couldn't do anything. He's not even sure that the person who killed the wife is going to get the type of discipline and justice would be served in the way that it should. Like
Right.
he told his son how he almost considered getting, like, doing suicide. Like it was just really heavy. And I'm amazed, one, that some of these posts are even on Reddit. Like, but I'm
Right.
impressed that it's happening, and there are people who actually are doing what they
The
can to
right
try to
thing.
help.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw this and I was just like, man, like imagine if you had made a post like this and then you didn't get responses quickly. Like you did nothing. Like, can you imagine how bad that could have been? Like, because he said
Right.
that his dad just went and got the shotgun and his whole personality changed. And he was just stuck trying to figure out, I don't know what to do because I think my dad is going to try to kill the person who killed my mom. Because and for him, it's like, do I want the person who killed my mom to be like arrested
Punish.
and
Yeah.
punished
Absolutely.
for all of this? Absolutely. But he's like, if my dad does this, I'm going to lose my dad too. And I've
Right.
already lost my mom. So I was just like, yo, this is deep. So if you ever find yourself bored, just do a quick search on Reddit. You will find something that'll probably have you stuck reading thousands of comments all day, because you literally will find a little bit of everything up there. So that's all I got. What you got for us?
Okay. So more sad stuff. Did you see the stuff about Astro World Fest, where a few
Yeah,
people were
I didn't
killed?
read
I
in
seen it on CNN.
detail, but I saw an article and then I saw a video where a girl was at the festival and she was screaming to people,
To a
"Hey, there's
producer.
someone
There's
dead,"
somebody. There's somebody dead under there.
and nobody was listening to her.
Yeah, the guy like shoot her away, like
Yeah, and then
one of the
someone else started
producers.
screaming to try to help her, and they still weren't really
Yeah,
listening.
guy like, hey, there's somebody dead under there.
Yeah.
And people were saying like Travis Scott's still performing. I imagine, and I'm not making excuses for him, but I imagine that when you're performing up there like that, you probably can't really hear or see a lot because they're like he was
Hmm.
just performing right over the dead person. Like he probably didn't even realize it was a dead person because it's such a sea of people.
Hmm.
And he did issue a statement, saying how bad he felt, and it's not his fault. He can't control that people rush the stage.
Hmm.
That happens. We've seen a lot of instances where people have been at concerts, tried to rush, and people have been trampled and hurt.
Hmm. I mean, we even saw it in the movie Selena, where
Yeah,
she was performing, and there were people being pushed against the fence and
and the stage
everything.
lifted up. Yeah,
Hmm. And I think even in that instance, if the stage hadn't lifted up, she probably wouldn't have noticed that this was happening. It was the
Right.
fact that it was like
Because it was so
suddenly
much.
she was in danger too. Like, whoa, what is
Wait,
actually
wait, you
going
felt the
on?
state, right? And that's what I was saying. People were like, "Oh, Travis Scott just kept performing, and people were dead." And I'm like, I don't think he probably realized that those people were dead, and the
Mhm,
producers probably couldn't hear. Like, it's a lot happening in those concerts. Like, I could see where something crazy could happen at a concert, and people not really recognize what is happening.
mhm.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I've had stuff happen where people falling and stuff, and you don't even realize it because it's so noisy. It's so much happening. It's a sensory overload. Concerts are
Mhm,
sensory overloads, especially with artists like that, where they got like the flames and they got all the special
mhm.
effects. It's easy to get lost and wrapped up into that stuff and not realize the person behind you done fell out.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, think
and
about that. Can you imagine if we were at a Beyonce concert and something happened? Literally, no one would know that was
would
happening
notice
because you have so many people. There's so many
complete
people that's
pandemonium.
completely focused on her, so they're not really noticing all this other stuff is happening.
Right.
So it's to me, it's not unheard of that something like that could happen. It's terrible that this happened. It's
It
absolutely
is. And he
terrible.
said that, like his prayers with the family. But he can't control people rush the stage.
Hmm.
And I hope that doesn't impact some where they go, oh, we can't have any more festivals or we can't do any more things. Because I also feel like because it was a black event, it's getting super duper highlighted. This shit happens
Hmm.
all the time at concerts and other genres.
It's still in his
Um,
association still with the
yeah,
Jenners and the
yeah,
Kardashians too, so that
yeah,
probably helps amplify too because
yeah,
Kylie has released a statement also now.
yeah. And it's like, what is she releasing a statement for?
Yeah, she was
To
just
get
and her own her side. She was just trying to make sure people understood. Like from their end, they did not know any of that stuff was happening.
right, and I imagine that they wouldn't because it's a we all have been most of us. I'm gonna say concerts. There's people who haven't been to concerts. Most of us who have been
Hmm.
to concerts that are more upbeat music, so rap, rock and roll. I wouldn't say R&B as much. Some R&B, like maybe they
Pop.
usher in them. Yeah, pop music. You know, y'all know how the concerts get. Like, come on.
Hmm.
And people decided to rush the people. The fact that people decided to rush the stage. That mob mentality shit is so dangerous.
Hmm.
It's so dangerous. Like, why did y'all decide to rush the stage? Like, what?
It's
And
crazy.
but yeah, so prayers for the families and those lost. I just
Hmm.
hope people are empathetic on all sides of it. Like completely empathetic to people didn't understand what was happening. They tried to do the most that they could when it did because I know a lot of people feel angry and then it comes into the blame game like, oh, they should have did this, they should have did more of that. But the thing about it is it goes to show you the real strength in numbers. No matter
Hmm.
how many people are at these concerts, how many security guards or events, it's not going to be equal to the number of attendees. And
Hmm.
it's going to probably always be more attendees, even though they try to put controls in place. And if a group of people decide to storm, which they did, or rush, I should say, that's what happens. I just hate
Hmm.
that it happened. And I feel so bad for the people whose families were lost. I feel bad for him because I can't imagine how he probably feels.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how people who lost their loved ones. So I can't imagine how the people who were there seen it. Imagine seeing a live dead body as something that's supposed to be fun and exciting.
I mean, this ain't, remember when something similar happened to Ariana Grande not too long ago? After she was performing. That's where the song "No Tears Left to Cry" was inspired by. The people that died at one of her concerts.
Mm,
And and when she finally was able to perform again, sis cried at her concerts like for like the next 3 or 4 times because it was
yeah.
that's
Traumatizing.
traumatizing. Just traumatizing for
Right.
the people who were out there, but it's also traumatizing for the artists who may start to feel guilty that they didn't even see something to figure out how to stop things. Like you
Right.
start wondering what you could have done to try to
Yeah.
help the situation. But I mean,
Right.
when you have people that are just storming stages like that and being completely,
Outnumbered, grossly
yeah.
outnumbered. Like most events, if we pay attention, we usually outnumber.
Hmm.
That's how the stuff at the Capitol happened. It was
Hmm.
more people trying to storm than there were officers, or at least in response to when it first happened. Eventually
Hmm.
more reinforcements came in, but it's just showing like that number of sheer numbers of people is dangerous. Which I also
Hmm.
understand why there's a lot of people who be like, I don't do crowds. This is why,
Hmm.
because people can't afford to be trampled.
That's why I've been so iffy about going to actual festivals because it's really just like people in open spaces, and there's something a bit more comforting for me if I go to a concert and I'm at a concert where we have
It's a
designated
venue with a
seats and
set number
stuff.
of seats,
And
right?
yeah,
And a
like,
set capacity. Because those festivals, I mean, they can put a capacity, but it's so wide and it's outside. So it's
hmm,
like, shit, come if you want. It could be 80
hmm,
million of y'all in here. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all can all fit. Y'all want to do that? I don't know if the sound
hmm,
going to travel, but come on. It's a
hmm,
lot more open to but I know what you mean. Most concerts I've gone to um have been indoor. I
hmm.
went to that Ari Lennox in the park here at Brooklyn, but even that it was a lot of people, but it wasn't like nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I've been
But
to
Ari
stuff
Lennox
like
don't
at the
got the kind of
Fillmore
rush
where
the
you don't
stage
have
music.
seats, but it's like also
Yeah,
still a confined space where people wouldn't even
it's
have
a
the amount of.
capacity. The fire
Yeah.
marshal, right? The fire marshal's gonna cut you off. This
Hmm.
limit, we got 200 people. We got 198. We're gonna just actually stop you there.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, prayers to all the family
Yeah,
members that are impacted. Travis Scott for this is a lot that he's gonna have to deal with too. And
yeah,
like you said, it could be very simple, a simple solution for some people. Like, oh, well, just don't have those things anymore, and it'd
right.
be crazy that something like that, like like you said, is I think there's also that fact that there's a bit more attention on it because of it being a black event. Like for some,
Hmm.
whenever it's a negative thing, and if it's a black related event, then it gets this extra bit of scrutiny
Right.
associated with it. So,
Mm-hmm. Like you said, Ariana Grande's having. I didn't even know Ariana Grande was the thing.
hmm,
Didn't know that.
yep,
I'm not saying that that makes it less significant, but I don't even remember seeing it on CNN. I actually seen Astro World on CNN. I didn't even know that was happening, and I was flicking through, and I was like, "What Travis Scott do? It must be lit." Like I was gonna sleep. I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was bouncing, and it was like 8 people reported it. I'm like, "Wait a
yeah.
minute."
Yeah, so for Ariana Grande's, it wasn't specifically within hers. Like her concert had just let out, and there was a suicide bomber that was waiting for people when they were leaving.
Oh, okay, okay. But yeah,
So
she
it's
can't
like,
control that.
yeah, she couldn't control that, but
I
it's
mean, he
also
couldn't
like, oh
control it
my
either. But
gosh,
yeah, you
like
feel bad, right?
you feel bad that this is something that will one be associated with you for like ever, but two, it's just like you just there's so many what ifs like
Oh,
that
you know
come
what?
from
I
that
do
type of
remember
stuff.
that. I take it back. I said I didn't remember that. I do remember that for a
Hmm.
brief
Yeah,
second.
it happened
It
about
was like
four
year
years
before
ago.
last. Was it? I thought it was year
Hmm.
before last. But yeah, I do remember that. I
Yeah,
do.
but okay. So what else we got for us? What else do we have?
Some food traumas.
A food trauma's like what? What are we talking about?
Okay, first of all, this morning, y'all, I was eating some Captain Crunch, roofing my mouth completely so they had Captain Crunch and sausage. And JB and I were talking, and we like, yo, yeah, this is crazy. Like, to this day, I still don't eat. We started naming foods we don't eat because of what it was like when we were kids. We don't eat. I don't eat Kix. He won't eat King Vitamin because Captain Crunch reminds him of King Vitamin.
Hmm. Yeah, I can't eat
What else?
both. Either one of them is like Captain Crunch is completely cut off because it reminds me of King Vitamin. King Vitamin was one of the worst cereals ever made.
King Vitamin wasn't a complete assault to your palate, if ever there was an assault. So
Hmm.
count King Vitamin in the assault group. What
Right.
other foods traumatized you?
Um.
Oh, we talk about
Oh,
block cheese,
yeah, block cheese, and then
Gubman cheese. You know my Gubman
yeah,
cheese.
yeah. I haven't bought the
That peanut butter in
specific.
a can.
Oh, the gray
Peanut butter
can
in
with
the
the peanut
silver.
on the side.
Chow. That was
Mm-mm.
disastrous. Whose idea was that? Who designed this?
Shoot, I still haven't had Juicy Juice. And then, like, I was shocked when Juicy Juice evolved to be from in a can to actually being in a carton thing now. 'Cause, like, it's not in the can
You like a
anymore.
yeah? It's like in a bottle. I buy bottles of juicy juice because I mix it with Master Rock. I hadn't drank juicy juice in a while, and I know y'all. I'll be like people be like, juicy juice. Listen, juicy juice has almost all the flavors that mix with the Cirocs. Almost all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I do coconut pineapple. I do the berry with the fruit with the berry juicy juice. I do all the little flavors. Remember I was calling it a wick on the rocks.
Yeah, I don't
Remember
drink
when
Ciroc.
we had that record when we had recorded our drinks, I was like, "This is a wick on the rock." The wick on the rocks included juicy juice. That's where the part came from.
Mm-mm.
The juicy juice.
What else is something I don't do or drink or eat? I don't eat oodles and noodles anymore or ramen noodles. I can't.
I
That
eat
was
real ramen now. I just started back up when I got to New York because, well, some of the best ramen in the world is here in New York, obviously, as y'all
mhm.
know. And I've been
Yeah.
tearing it up.
I can't do it. I don't remember last time I had bologna.
Whoa, whoa, Bologna.
Yeah,
Yeah, bologna. I thought it was Bologna.
yeah. Me and
Like,
bologna. I haven't had
right.
bologna in a
Yo, I
long
haven't had
time.
bologna in a long time. But I found out there were charcuterie boards where people actually put bologna on it. Like people like actually request charcuterie boards with bologna.
Yeah, I have. If I do
Apparently there's
have it,
some
it's gonna have
good
to be fried bologna. I can't just have no regular bologna. Like
I
it
can eat
gotta
regular
be.
bologna. I like
Mm-mm.
fried too, but I prefer give me a little my bologna has a first name, Miss Oscar.
Oscar. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I
Oscar.
don't remember
I remember it was just like it probably sounded a little bit better coming from the commercial.
it did not. It sounded just like that.
Oh, it
My
did. I'm sure
bologna
it did. It
has a
sounded
first
just like
name,
that.
Miss Oscar.
What else is something that I don't touch anymore as an adult? I don't know, but a soap that I don't touch as an adult?
Mm.
Um, Irish Spring.
Whoa! First of
Ooh.
all, Irish Spring is a form of acid. It is a form. If you don't love somebody, put some Irish Spring in their shower and watch your body get. Remember the Irish Spring commercials? And it used to be like that little tropical rainforest.
It was ain't
Or those
nothing
type of rain.
tropical about no damn
Right, I was
Irish
gonna say,
Spring.
or any of them China drops in Ireland, because I thought it was a lot of Moors in Ireland, but I could be wrong. Don't
Mm-mm.
quote me. But you know what else that I'm not going to use?
What?
Y'all remember Tussie and Hand Dry?
Tessie will have your underarms dry for a week. A week.
Remember Hand Dry? But do you remember Hand Dry? I'm
I
trying to find a
remember
picture.
how
Let me
dry
see.
too.
Hand Dry and Tussie.
Mm-mm.
I don't think
Tessie,
they make
no, but
Hand
if you're
Dry no
talking
more,
about
do
Tessie,
they?
you got to be talking about the Tessie that's in the little thing where you put your finger in. You got to stick your finger in there because Tessie evolved and had the roller thing at one point too. That ain't the same
Yeah.
as the Tessie where you stick your finger in. And then
I don't think they make Hand Dry no more. Oh
I
yes,
mean, they
they do.
shouldn't.
It's at Walmart. It's a roll on, a little powder fresh,
No, that needs to go.
and it's still pink.
That
Let
needs
me
to
see. Do they still
go.
sell? I feel like they still sell. Do they still sell
No,
Tussie?
Tessie's still out there too. Tessie's like the cheapest deodorant that works the best. Like it was
They
like
got the Tussie deodorant cream on Amazon for $20.99. It's still red.
hmm
I don't know why I
Tessie's
thought the
that type
colors
is
would
like they were
change.
like, all these companies are like, oh, this deodorant's without aluminum. Tessie's like, we want all of the aluminum.
That's
Give
because
me
it
the
started in
entire periodic
1925.
table. We're gonna put that in this thing because
Metals, you say? Drop them into the deodorant. No. Like,
right. Oh,
so yeah,
Tessie was a thing. Oh
Tussie. Yeah,
man.
no, Tussie and hand dry. I remember when I was a kid, I
Oh
wanted to
no,
use
do you
hand dry.
remember White
You put on.
Rain? The shampoo and conditioner?
Whoa! Yeah. Mane and tail. Yo, my mom cut her hair recently out. My mom looks so cute, her little Emma Rose. So my mom was like, I gotta go get me a little something to keep it moisture. I said, what you go get some mane and
But
tail?
Made
She
in
was hot.
Tail. That Made in Tail
She was
did
like, you
what it was
keep
supposed to
saying
do
mane and
though.
tail. I'm like, but did you get some mane and tail? Is that what you
Mm.
getting? The
We
little
had
horse?
Made in Tail, the pink oil moisturizer.
Pink oil moisturizer. What? The blue, green bergamots? What? No,
Oh
I know you remember
man.
that. I know she
Oh
probably used that on
man.
your sister.
My,
I know you
my
know what I'm talking
sister had
about.
the worst. I loved
They
watching my
still make
sister get
mane
her
and
hair
tail.
done. She get popped with a comb in the head all the time. Oh yeah, I know they were still doing Mane and Tail. I've seen that out. What is that
Man, Blue
nasty
Magic
cocoa
come in
butter?
green.
What is that nasty
That
cocoa
Queen
butter that came
Helene, the
out
one
like
that lasts for
water?
2 years. It lasts, yo, it's called Queen Helene cocoa butter. Y'all, if you not even a real one, if you didn't have that cocoa butter, it lasts you for
This stuff
30
just
years
came
and you be
rolling out the
ashy.
bottle.
It come rolling out and you be ashy as soon as it dried. Like you put it on and by the time it dried, you was back ashy. But you could use some more, but it kept, it's self-replenished. It's self, it was
It's like
magic.
who's
It,
putting more in this?
yeah, I swear. I remember my mom bought it the first time. I thought it was joke. I'm like this. I'm thinking my little brother had did something. So I'm looking. I'm all like, tell the truth. Did you put something in this? I'm looking at my mom like, it don't even smell cocoa buttery. It's so watery. Let me
Mm-mm.
see if they still make that.
They do. They do. I just brought it up. It's on Amazon right now.
Queen
You can
Helene
buy it for
cocoa butter.
oh god, they got the
Now,
hand and
do you
cream.
see it? 769. It's 769. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
last you for the rest of your life. I might order
It
some
won't
just so
do
I
a
could
thing
always
while you
have
have it,
something
but
to.
it'll last you for the rest of your life.
I'm telling you, like you put it on like this. By the time it dried on this arm, and you went to this arm is back ashy. Like,
And then I've been seeing people who would put it on their feet and they walking around sliding everywhere
for
because you
two
ain't know.
seconds, because in a minute you freak bricks. It's going. It's like that time SpongeBob. Remember SpongeBob went into Sandy's house. Air is not good. You remember when SpongeBob like wrinkled up?
I didn't watch that
Man,
episode.
man, there's an episode of SpongeBob where his ass got into some air, and the end of it, he said, "Air is not good, Patrick. Air is not good. Air is not good for that Queen Helene baby. Because once it dries,
Mm-mm. Oh
you need to wrap it and
man.
like put like Saran wrap on your arm. Like, all right, let me just wrap this one arm up here. Just
I'm trying to think of something else. Do people still buy Big Red? I mean, not Big Red, but what's it? The toothpaste that was red. Close up?
aim.
No, close up. It was close
Look,
up
we gonna Google.
toothpaste. It was red, and on the commercials, like it was always. I swear, it was like people were always trying to kiss. You don't remember the close up toothpaste?
I, I remember Zest. Zest is just as bad as Irish Spring. Zest fully clean.
No, I'm mad you don't remember the close up. Oh my god, they rebranded themselves. They have a new packaging now, so it still is out here.
Does Zest is Zest still out?
Uh huh. Yeah, I
You
think
notice
Zest
all the
is
good soaps don't really be having a whole lot of commercials.
You know,
Yeah, Zest is it.
all of the stuff that was popular back in the day doesn't have a commercial now. Like they like, oh, we are already staples in the household. We don't got to do this. When was the last
That
time you
clean
seen a
her.
Juicy Juice commercial that won on PBS? Did they? The only time we would ever see Juicy Juice commercials was because they were
No, choosy
Arthur
moms
was
choose kicks.
yeah, Arthur was always sponsored by Mayola Milk and Ice Cream and Juicy Juice.
I'm going to hang up. I'm going to hang up on you.
I'm just saying. I'm
But
just
yeah,
saying. Oh my
y'all tell us
god.
some stuff that traumatized y'all because I'm gonna make a post about this afternoon. Like, hey,
Oh yes.
what traumatized you? Because for us, it was King Vitamin. I'm also trying some new things out with our templates. Tell me how you like it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
took the border off a little bit, just left our little logo in the back. We gonna see how it pan out, see how it shake. Maybe do a little combo, a little mix, bring up our page a little bit. Because I was looking at it like this is my eyes are glazing over, and we don't want your eyes to glaze over.
Mm-mm. Well, I guess that's all for rude talk. So let's go ahead and
Rude
into
talk,
Living While Black
because we've been
officially.
black most of our lives. I'm gonna kick this off.
Mm-hmm. Don't do
Let's
what
talk
you
about Will
do.
and Jada because lately these two been Will was on Oprah, Jada was on Red Table Talk. I haven't seen the full Red Table Talk, but I got the feeling that people probably took it out of complex because
They
people
did.
watch one snippet, don't fully watch it, and then mom mentality.
It's just
They
like the
start
whole
listening
Joe
to what everybody
Budden
else is
thing where
saying.
they claim that he
Oh
came out
yeah,
as
he come out as
bisexual, and
bisexual.
that's
I mean,
really
if
not
he
what he
did, it's
did.
okay.
No,
He
that's not what he
didn't.
did.
Oh, he didn't. Okay, I
They
would
just
say even
took
if he
that one
did.
part. But even if you hear the clip, he was like, "Yeah, go ahead and let's see how fast this spread. Go ahead and spread this." And it literally just played into that whole idea of like people just taking certain parts and just
Yeah, they
running with
just
it.
make stuff up. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's how I feel about Will and Jada. This is what I think. Because everybody's all like, oh, this was y'all couple goals. This was y'all couple goals. And it's like, was it a couple goals? But at the same time, this is the same fan or group that always wants into celebrity lives. This is why Beyonce and Jay-Z don't talk to us. This is
Mm-hmm.
exactly why. Because people want to be in your information, want to be in your business, and then you give them a glimpse, and then they critique.
Mm-hmm.
Because what Will and Jada got working for them has been working for however long they've been married. That's their
Mm-hmm.
business. And then they open up and share about it. But I was thinking, like, in a sense, couldn't that still be relationship goals? But what did you say earlier? You said something
See, my thing
earlier.
is, I have a couple things. Well, one, I do
What did you
think it
say?
still could be relationship goals, just when you're thinking
So
about
do
it from
I.
the
The
standpoint is like,
transparency and
the
honesty.
transparency, the honesty, the fact that they're showing us that even despite us thinking that they were in this perfect marriage, that they had regular
That no
problems too
perfect
that they
marriage
had to
exists.
actually work through, and then every marriage is different, so they had to find a way to make their marriage work for them. Like I
Yeah.
just like there's a lot of pieces of that. Like goals does not mean that this is what you should be monitoring your relationship out after 100%. Like you're
But what did you say earlier? You said something earlier that I was like, this is gold. Save it for the show.
I don't know.
I think it was why is another couple your relationship goals?
Yeah, like I think that was something similar. I did say something like that, but it's just
Mm-hmm.
kind of like you you are not in a relationship to try to emulate somebody else. There's
Right.
no you can't make that
And
happen.
nothing
You are
is
not Jada.
perfect.
You and he's not Will.
Yeah.
Y'all are not the same. Yeah,
We
we can start from the basic thing. You're not rich. They have different types of rich people problems.
say that because
So I'm just like
our problems is not the same.
your goal should be
And
trying to figure out how you can make what you have work because you made a decision to try to make that work.
right. And then Will even mentioned that the stuff with August Alsina in the Oprah interview, he mentioned, the things with August Alsina was sometimes taken out of context. He said, but you know how media is. Once they get a hold of something and they've made their mind up for it and it becomes deeply rooted, you're not going to change it. It's
Hmm.
not going to change. And Will was just speaking. I think that is good in that one, they're being publicly vulnerable.
Hmm.
So that could still be a relationship goal. Vulnerability, not the per se, the people per se, but the actions, vulnerability,
Hmm.
honesty,
Hmm.
candor, those kind of
Hmm.
things. Those are relationship goals. They have that
Hmm.
kind of relationship where you can do that. And you can be in a public eye and you go through the scrutiny and y'all can still rock. Because
Yeah,
guess who's in it at the end of the
it's just
day?
like if we
Will and Jada.
look at Beyonce and Jay Z. She decided she was finally going to speak up about all of the stuff that she had experienced in her marriage. And the
Mm-hmm.
whole time she was promoting the album, she was laid up under Jay Z because they were happy. They learned how to work through all of their
They learned how to
issues
work
and they were
together.
in this good space. So even for Will and Jada, they can sit back and talk about this stuff because for them, this is their past. They've already
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
worked through this. Anyone who has gone through anything usually gets to a point in their life where they can speak about that stuff without it impacting them anymore.
Yep. Yep. It's the growth and the
Yeah, it's
healing.
growth. This is you are evolving as a person. This is like your
Mm-hmm.
own personal maturity. Like you get to this point. If you find that you're still struggling speaking about this stuff, that means it's something you still need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get past that and you can speak to it without it impacting you, it's just like when people say, when they break up with somebody or someone breaks up with them and they can finally talk about that person without being emotionally affected by
But
it. If you can
right,
understand
right.
that, you should be able to understand how they can talk about whatever they've gone
Yeah,
through to get to where they are now.
right. And I ain't gonna hold y'all. Some of the memes been funny. Definitely seen
Hmm.
a guy in the comments that said, "Lord, may your will never bring me a Jada." That hit
Right.
me hot. I
Hmm.
was so, I was hot. I said, "What?" He said, "Lord, may your will never bring
Hmm.
me a Jada." Sir, first of all, stop, because stop making like women like, oh, like I would never let my wife. That's why you don't have one, because you don't let another human being do anything.
Right.
See, that's where you got it messed up. You talking like
Like you
you are the
controlling something.
controller of this situation, right? And that you wouldn't allow her as an individual person and being to do anything.
Hmm.
Oh, that's why you don't have a wife. You probably don't even have a girlfriend, and that's why,
Probably
because
only
you
have a
think
booty
people are.
call.
I hate to see it for you. I hate that for y'all. But yeah, that was, I wanted to get your thoughts on that, and I'm glad we
Hmm.
kind of feel the same way, because it's like it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because
Hmm.
people, oh, overshare. What is this? What is this? What's Sierra's prayer? What's that? Y'all do not know what's going on in people's marriages. I know people in marriages. Um, their husbands ain't shit. They ain't happy. They know they ain't happy. But on social media, it looks like a whole healthy family. Kids bubbling, brewing,
Hmm.
behind closed doors. Meanwhile, she fucking him, he fucking her. They cheating. They hate each other. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
don't act like stuff happens. And that's not to say that they won't be together. Some people go through all of that and they still rock. Like, yo, you know
Hmm.
what? End of the day, we still love each other. Ain't nothing out here. Let's figure
Hell,
it
look
out.
at Will and
But it's just
Jada. That was them. They went through a lot of stuff. He even talked about how while they were separated, he was out there doing his thing too. They
but
both were out
everybody
here,
forgets
but
that
they
he was doing
somehow tried to,
everybody.
they want
But
to villainize Jada when
Jada,
Will
because
was
she's a
doing the
woman.
same
Because
thing.
right, but they don't. We never, society, and you know it.
Yep.
Society
Hmm.
never
We say it all the
villainizes men who
time.
cheat. And when men cheat on us, it's always, oh, you got to forgive them. When Offset cheated on Cardi B for that second time, all the celebrities, Ti and them coming out, oh, help her. Ti cheated on his wife. Oh, you need to take him back. As a man, you got to forgive him. But then when the same thing happened with Jada, all of those men that were advocating for Offset, crickets. Men,
Hmm.
oh, I would never let my wife cheat on me. But that goes back to men thinking that they control and own women. That goes
Hmm.
back to that, because that's
Hmm.
why it's a different standard, because they think that I can do whatever I want. But if I lock you in, you are mine. You
Hmm.
are a piece of something. You are a body that I possess. And see, you don't. That's why y'all be having us. That's why y'all be having us fucked up at. Nah, I
Hmm.
really hate that for y'all. Like, but
It's
what you
crazy.
got? It's
So
crazy
I'm gonna close this.
insanity.
I'm gonna close us out with something positive from the Bronx. Yes,
Okay, from the
positivity from the Bronx.
the Bronx,
Yes.
because honey, every
Hmm.
time I turn on ABC 7 New York, it's some shit going on in the Bronx.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and send this over to you, but this is to highlight Jarelyn Rodriguez. She's actually from the Bronx. She actually is the founder and CEO of a Black women-owned Bronx technical school called the Knowledge House.
Yeah,
It is a technical
Knowledge House.
institution. She started more than 7 years ago with the sole goal of closing the employment gap for low income learners, specifically Black women. Currently, the organization is 90% staffed by people of color, an accurate representation of the communities they serve. So,
I love an accurate representation of the
hmm
communities that are being served.
yeah, she
I
was a.
love an accurate representation, because that means there's relatability, there's
Hmm.
empathy, there's
hmm
understanding, genuine caring, and help.
Yep.
Because
So, he apparently
representation
she
matters.
used to be a former educator and an active a community organizer. And she noticed that there was a gap with limited options for narrative educators and everything that were looking to get out of puberty and puberty poverty. So she's a Bronx native, but she actually graduated from Columbia University as a and she basically knew that the traditional path of higher academia wasn't going to work for everybody. So she wanted to
Mm-hmm.
create a space where people who couldn't do that or are coming from low income places have multiple options to help bridge this gap that otherwise they wouldn't have access to. So really dope. We always talk about the Bronx all the time, but just so you can see some of the stuff that's come out of this, says that this is now almost a decade later, TKH has grown, welcoming three cohorts with 60 adult learners, as well as youth educational arm educating another 60 students. Wow, that was a mouthful.
That was a
There are two
mouthful.
programs, one youth, one adult center that lasts about 12 months. The youth undergo daily summer instruction that transitions to monthly workshops that teach college and career planning, while the adults partake in a more rigorous program training for about 16 hours weekly for 9 months. The price of each student is currently at 5,000, but Rodriguez said it's well worth it to see participants transform their lives financially. She said that beforehand, the average incoming salary for adult applicants was 14,000 a year. When they stand their first tech job, we're seeing an average of 75,000 a year. So, I mean, that just look at the big gap there. 14,000 is a minimum of 75,000 for these people. And for some of these people, that's, I mean, it's going to be life changing.
That's life changing.
It's life
That's a livable
changing.
wage.
And so I just saw that and I was like, for us to talk about the Bronx a lot, it is nice to see something like this coming from out of here. So again, that organization is called the Knowledge House. It is in the Bronx. And if you are there, you need some assistance, go there. They have people who are donating money. So the $5,000 that's required to have it, it might be something that can be kind of slightly subsidized for you. So you might not have to spend all of that, but just check it out. So shout out to,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, Jarelyn Rodriguez. So that's all I have for Living Wild Black. Do you have
Because we went black.
anything that you want to leave our listeners with?
I do not. Get y'all black girl sunscreen because I got to put mine back in the cabinet.
All
I
right,
had
so
pulled it out for display purposes.
I'm going to leave you all with this. There's a post on Twitter that says, "You're offered $1 million to recite a Beyonce song word for word with no errors. Which one are you going with?"
Java roll up the
And so
partition.
this person commented and said, "Partition. And after one
Mm-hmm.
semester of elementary French, I'm singing the French part two, bitch. Escuchi air mattress sex, le sex, jubit ear, lactose physics.
What I say? La cuite.
Period."
I said coo wheat because I don't know what she said. COO and wheat, like the grain. La cuite, la physique, j'aime ça. And I'm saying gym sock, but I'm saying
Mm,
not putting the K. Gym sock.
I'm
GYM
not.
sock.
So,
Okay.
just for you, what would be your song that you could recite by Beyonce
Oh, that I could
100% with no
sing
errors?
with no errors.
Hmm.
1 plus 1 um equals 2. I could
Okay,
sing
well,
partition.
that already seems like you won't be getting that song.
I was trying to figure out a way to like put in words. Okay, I could sing 1 plus 1. I
Hmm.
could sing Die with You,
Mm.
Partition, Sorry, Freedom, Drunken Love. I can sing Drunken Love, the original and the remix. I can even sing Ye's part. You will never find another lover. Oh, cause you a milf and I'm a mother.
Yeah. Mm-mm. So that wouldn't be one of
Okay.
mine.
What was yours be?
So one of mine would definitely be "Scared of Lonely." That was one of my favorite
Look at my
songs
face.
by her.
Okay.
I would also be able to do "Upgrade You." Now that I
Okay. I
understand
forgot
some of
I
these
could do upgrade you
algorithms,
too.
I would also be able to do "Love on Top," and that's also with going up each of these
I could
octaves because
do
I'm
love
not
on
playing
top. I
with
could do
y'all.
we like to party. Oh,
Mm.
irreplaceable.
Oh no, that I don't want. Not even that I couldn't do that. That I hate that song. Oh God, I hate
I
that
just
song so much.
liked one of Bobby's photos where it was this man that was working out on a treadmill to Beyonce songs. He had it up on Facebook. Did you see it?
Mm-mm.
I gotta find it to send to you to say I gotta find it. I think I screen recorded it because it's insane. I'm about to send it to you. Yo, it is so funny. Because on this one,
Mm-mm.
man, yeah, there's a lot of Beyonce songs I can sing.
Well, I think that my last one would be "Freakum Dress."
Up,
And
put your
that
freak
and
on.
that'll be equipped with the Jersey Turnpike move with the when it calls it forward in the later part of the song, but that's about it. But
Oh, get your
like I
freakum
said, that's
dress
all I
on.
got. So if we have nothing else, I think we can go ahead and close out.
Okay.
So ball heads, we will talk to y'all next week.
Oh boy, you're looking like you like what you